My name is Kevin Murphy, and here today to talk about dollars and cents as it relates to tithing and how it's personally affected my life. It makes all the sense to me. I grew up in a family that has tithed, and as a young kid didn't necessarily know, why they were doing it. Read in the Bible, give your 10%, but my parents along the way saw the benefits that I realized as I got older. And when my wife and I got married, we took on that same. Then I wanted to call it a tradition because I just didn't know what it was going to do. Over the years, though, thank the Lord that I did it, and the sense it has made is shown in my life the whole time. Yeah, I've got a lot of personal experiences with tithing. Little things like the money always shows up when it needs to. Someone blesses me even when it's not financial, just out of the blue, but one specifically that my wife and I have talked about for years. We came to church one day and we were going to write the tithing check. And looking at the checkbook, we realized it wasn't going to leave us with just a whole lot till the next payday. I looked at her and said, let's write it anyway, we'll figure it out. That was on Sunday. On Monday afternoon, when I got home from work, there was an insurance check refund for $5 more than I had written on the tither's check that day that got us through the rest of the week. Definitely say tithe time as much as you can. Financially, 10% is what you want to give to the Lord. I've always looked at it both ways. I've had years when I've been able to tithe more time and years when I could tithe more money. And I've tried to keep a decent balance with that. I can tell you when my wife and I first got married, it wasn't 10%, wasn't anywhere close, but we set a number and we stuck with it. And as money got better, we added to it. And we made it a building experience that we could afford and just did it faithfully every year till we got to where we could do the 10% and sometimes more. I could encourage anyone that's not tithing now to start with something. Doesn't matter the dollar amount, do it faithfully and do it cheerfully. Amazed me the next Sunday there was more for me to give. When I didn't make any more money and I didn't see my bills go down, how there was just more to give that next Sunday, and I was able to grow it over the years from my wife and I first getting married and literally used to have discussions over what type of laundry detergent to buy. To being able to tithe and go home and know that we were still going to buy groceries that week and being blessed. I don't know, I look back at my life since I graduated college and got married and started tithing and look at every blessing that I've had. Jobs that I didn't get that I'm thankful that I didn't get. Jobs that fell into my lap that I didn't even know were out there. And I contribute that all back to tithing. The Lord never tells you He's going to send you a check back on your returns for tithing, but it does say it'll be returned to you. And I can think early on in my working career and in my family life where it was returned back to me, and sometimes it kicked you in the teeth and you saw it, and other times you look back months later and go, man, I missed that one, but there it was. So it's always been there, just sometimes you have to look backwards to see it. But I grew up in a family that tithed and understood it, so there was no moment in my life where it said, you should tithe and see what happens. I've always seen it. I didn't always recognize it, but it's always been there. So I guess that gives me a little bit different perspective in the fact that I saw the advantages and, may not have never have been rich, but always had what you needed, and the Lord always provided, and you're always faithful.
You saw him growing up, is what you're telling me.
Yep.
You saw him growing up. Did you see times that in your family where,
The funniest story, and my mother tells it quite a bit, is my dad was looking to retire in 2005, and he was kind of worried about it. How are they going to make it if he quit working? And I don't know, but something just struck me, and I looked at him and I said, Dad, the Lord's brought you this far, He ain't going to leave you now. And he's been retired since 2005 and enjoying it the whole time.